Hi, and welcome to The Curling Show, the podcast that brings you interviews with the sport's top athletes and the people who shape the game. Brought to you by Fit to Curl, a sport-specific guide to training for the world's greatest game by Olympic gold medalist John Morris, with some help from me, Dean Gemmel. Now is definitely the time to get your copy so you can start the off-season training that will serve you well when curling season gets underway next fall. No matter what your current level of fitness might be or what kind of curler you are, there's a program in Fit to Curl that will help you make a few more shots, sweep more effectively, and feel better when you play, especially next season when you come back to the sport after not being on the ice for a few months. To get your copy, visit fittocurl.com. That's fittocurl.com. Or your favorite curling pro shop. The skip of the team that just captured the 2010 Tim Hortons Brier Championship, and for reasons I can't quite explain, a first-time guest on this podcast, Kevin Cooey. Welcome to The Curling Show.
Hey, thanks. Good to be here.
Hey, so the team that's probably lost more finals than any other top rink over the last few years goes out and wins a big one. I guess there was a Canada Cup win in the past, but somehow I'm thinking this win was the one that felt like it justified a lot of effort. There was a lot of joy in that team celebration after your shot in the 11th end, but was there also a lot of relief?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know we've lost a lot of finals, but, right now, I don't even know if we remember those ones. We won the biggest one we've ever been in, and really that's all that matters. So, yeah, for sure there's a bit of relief to win the big one, for sure.
Hey, Al Cameron in the Calgary Herald wrote about how the last shot to win a curling game is about the most exciting moment in sport. Of course, I tend to agree with him. I'm a curling fan. But I think the real drama in sports is those moments in between, 2 outs in the ninth with the bases loaded, waiting for a face-off in the last 30 seconds, that sort of thing. How exciting was that last minute and a half for you?
It was a little nerve-wracking. I mean, we had a little tougher shot than we wanted. I mean, Howard's team played a great end. His his first shot in the extra was just as good as he really could have done. So, after Blake made that run back, I'm thinking we might not have as tough a shot as we did. But, they come through and, all of a sudden we had to draw the button. And, I felt like I'd be close and be in the neighborhood anyways. And the guys just, did a great job sweeping it there.
What about your shot in 10? I think it's it's probably a shame because I don't think it's going to be played over and over as much as some other shots like Hackner's in 85, maybe because it's not quite as dramatic. Mm-hmm. But I think it was as big or maybe bigger and tougher. What were you thinking on that one?
Yeah, that one wasn't feeling overly confident. The shot in the extra I think is definitely easier than that one. I mean, the old hack weight and hit about 2 inches of it. Probably not the highest percentage shot, but, the thing we had going for us is we'd just thrown it on my first one, so we had a pretty good idea of what it would do. And, if you have a good idea what it'll do at this level, you expect to be close. And again, we were just able to do everything right on that one with the sweeping and the line calling. And, that was for sure a game saver. That end was, we were dead all end there, and wasn't looking like he would maybe even have to throw, or if he did, it wouldn't be a tough shot. And then all of a sudden, he's just trying for one. So that was a huge momentum shift.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable shot. The margin of error was so small on that one, smaller than your last shot, I guess, although that's pretty tight, too, when you have to draw the lid. Hey, going into this event, a lot of the talk surrounding your team was that not only were you one of the favorites, but also that it might be the end of the road for this rink, which, with much of the talk, especially centered on Blake McDonald stepping away. Does this win mean some new conversations for this team?
Yeah, I hope so. There hasn't been any conversations to date yet. I mean, curling at this level, you got to put so much time into it, and we've got other jobs and families. So, we decided we'd talk about it at the end of the year, and
now the end of your year is a little further away.
Yeah, or whenever our playdown run was done, right? And once we won provincials, we got to put it off, and now we get to put it off for a few more weeks, and that's great. After she's all said and done, after the World and the players, we'll take a bit of a break and sit down and talk, and hopefully we can find a way to stick together.
Hey, this is your first time wearing the maple leaf on your back in an event this big. I guess you've played in some other events like Kurosawa and things like that, haven't you? But
No, actually I haven't. This will be the
first time with the maple leaf at all on your back. But do you think it's an advantage or a disadvantage to be playing the first time with a maple leaf on your back in Italy versus, say, Regina?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think you'll always feel a bit of the pressure, right? You're Team Canada curling. You're expected to win. Over in Italy, probably maybe a little less so. Just it won't be such the high-profile event that it would be in Canada with the thousands of fans. Who knows what we'll get over there. So, in that respect, maybe a little less so, not as much attention, but you still want to win for your country, and so I'm sure there'll be some pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a double-edged sword, because it feels a little lonelier when you're over there, I imagine, but at the same time, you can sort of go about your business maybe a little bit more easily, hopefully the conditions are good. Yeah,
and I mean, there's Dave Merklinger's a Canadian ice maker going over. He's doing the ice, so we'd expect the ice to be pretty good over there. So that should help. I mean, that would be our biggest worry if the ice is good ice. I like our chances. I think we'll do well.
Lots of rambling about Carter's comment to you midway through the game about throwing them not to miss instead of to make them. How much did that help you? Was that a typical sort of thing for Carter to say?
No, I don't think it'd be typical for sure. And he probably was a bit right. I was safetying a bit of them. I was throwing my intern on all those hits, and it can tend to take off on me. And I just was a little careful. And when you're doing that, you're not going to make the hit and rolls that you need to. So, I think it helped a bit. And but as a team, the second half, we just got off to a great start in 6, and we were rolling from there.
Hey, that 6th end, despite the fact that you drew the button for the win, your team is known more for runbacks in a power game probably. In that 6th end, if you had a 2-point lead, would you have played it differently than Glenn did?
This team, we probably would have ran something back or a little earlier, but I mean, you got to look at Glenn's team too, though. When they need to get out of trouble, they usually do it with the freezes, and we're totally opposite teams, right? Our way to get out of trouble, is to maybe throw the big weight hits, but you can't fault them. They went with what they're good at, and I don't know, over the years, whenever we've played them and had them in a bit of trouble, they just freeze one in there, and the end's dead. And we got fortunate, got a bit of a miss. One of their draws freezes over curled, and then we made some really good freezes on our end to get Glenn to play the runbacks. And the runbacks aren't his strength. He's still good at them, but definitely he's one of the best touch players. And when we got him throwing those shots, we knew we had a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a pretty good wrap-up of it. I mean, Glenn's team has done pretty well against you guys in the past, playing those freezes. As your first win against them, going out there, needing your first win against this team, which I find amazing. You guys have never beaten those guys before Sunday?
No, not as a team with the 4 of us.
All the times. I mean, I find that pretty incredible, actually, because you guys have been right there with everybody else. How do you fight that feeling that not beating them might be inevitable?
I think just because, while we've never beat them, we've lost, our past 4 games before that we're so close, in the trials we lost an extra end, and in the slam final in Mississauga earlier we just missed 2. So, we knew we were right there, and we knew it was only a matter of time. We're going to beat them somewhere down the road, but, we didn't really think we'd never beat them. We felt confident, and we really didn't worry about that out there. We just worried about what we needed to do.
Hey, you touched on, you just mentioned a loss to Glenn at the trials at the Tim Hortons Roar of the Rings in December. Your team going in there, I think, surely was at least a team that everybody picked to be in the top 3 or 4. How low was the morale on the team after the trials? Yeah,
it was pretty low. I mean, we built our 4 years towards that trials, right? Like most teams do these days, and what we took out of it is we played great at the trials, maybe the best we'd ever played, and we just got no breaks that week. Teams never missed anything against us, and we lost to the playoff teams in 2 extra ends and a last rock double. So while it was deflating, we just kind of looked back and said, "Hey, we played great."
We don't have to play Kevin in the playdowns.
Yeah, if we keep playing like that and we get the odd break, we got a good chance at provincials, and that's sort of the attitude we took. And this team had never been to a Brier, so that was a big goal of ours. And now here we are.
Well, you guys were definitely due some breaks. So, hey, you switched the lineup this year too, with Blake not throwing. I guess at the end of last year, actually, with Blake not throwing last rock anymore, and it has certainly seemed to work for you. Anything that maybe you should have made that switch earlier?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if you look back on our first few years together, I mean, we had some great years, and with Blake skipping, just won a pile of cash and did great, and should have been to a Brier back then too. But
right.
Last year wasn't our best year, our worst of the 4, and we decided to make a switch, and it helped just. With me calling the game all the time, I think we were able to get things flowing a little better, and with me calling and throwing last rocks, and I could call more the game I wanted, and where in the past, I'm calling the game, and maybe Blake wasn't always comfortable with it. So, we did the switch, but I mean, it worked out. But I mean, if anybody was watching, they would have seen how great, Blake played all week, especially in that final, and that's a big part of it.
Hey, talk about your delivery for a moment. How did it develop, and when are you going to convince the CCA to start teaching it?
Yeah, I don't know. I was always.
How come your brother didn't copy it either?
I don't know. Everybody always has a bit of a unique delivery. There's not many out there the same, but I was always pretty low to the ice, even back in juniors, and it hasn't switched a whole pile over the years, and hey, it works for me, especially when for the big hitting shots I got. I can get the power and get low and see it, and everybody's got their differences, and you just got to find out what works for you.
Hey, have you talked with Jim Waite and the CCA about the field at the World? There's no David Murdoch, no Nicholas Eden, but a lot of the familiar names are there. Yeah,
I didn't even know who was going till a couple of days ago. I looked on the website. We met with Jim and Rick Lang, who will be coming over with us the day after, and just sort of went over, the plans, the paperwork, what we need to do, where we're staying, that sort of thing. And now that we look at the field, there's a few surprises, I guess, in some of the teams that aren't there, and we're not familiar with them all, but there's some good teams there, Allsrud, and a few others, so it'll definitely be pretty tough.
And Rick Lang's going with you guys?
Yeah, he's kind of in training to take over Jim Waite's job. So they're both coming with us this year, which will be great. I mean, he's everybody knows Rick. He's a great guy and a lot of fun, and he'll be good to have over there.
Smart move by the CCA. I've talked on the show about how I think Rick's about the best coach out there I've seen. I haven't seen him coach a men's team, but I like his approach with the women's teams he's had. So. Yeah,
I mean, it looks good. I mean, he'll get all the respect of the curlers, right? I mean, he's been there and done it all, and very likable personality. So I think it's great.
All right, Kevin, we finished with a run back. I'll give you a topic. You give me your thoughts in 1 to 3 words.
Okay.
All right, changes to the Brier format.
Should happen.
Should happen or should? Should happen, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll clarify that. Canada's chances for gold in Paralympic curling.
Outstanding.
The success of bald curlers named Kevin this season.
Oh, geez, yeah. What can you say?
I think it's the look every junior will go to in the future here.
People
right?
should go to that haircut, I guess.
Yeah, even kids with full head of hair are going to start going for the clean shave.
Yeah.
Playing in Dawson Creek in the Players' Championship right after the Men's Worlds.
Can't wait.
The Continental Cup. I think you guys get in it now, don't you?
I think we need to finish in the top 3
at the Worlds?
At the Worlds to get our spot. But, you know, a unique event. We've played in one before, and looking forward to getting back.
Jeff Stoughton with Reed Carruthers and players to be named later.
Hadn't heard that one.
Geez, you guys, some of you top curlers are really out of the loop. I gotta
tell you.
Just
we've been, busy answering emails the past couple of days. That's.
I guess he signed on Reed, and there's a question about whether Steve Gould's coming back, but Rob Fowler's, I guess, going to run the car dealership more or something. So lots of guys in Manitoba probably dialing Jeff frantically. Yeah,
I guess, you know, that's the way things go. Every 4 years, I think you're going to see lineup shuffling. So probably not a huge surprise.
The duration of the Olympic trials qualifying process in Canada.
1 year too long.
That's probably a good analysis, actually. Yeah, I think that's about right. The performances of the American teams at the Vancouver Olympics.
Very disappointing for curling.
Team Norway's pants from Loudmouth Golf.
Just, you know, very fresh and outstanding.
From the guy who brought the plaid back. Yeah, they sort of, I still like the plaid, but I don't think you can break those out with the Team Canada jerseys, can you?
No, I don't think so.
Al Hackner, Brad Height, Pierre Charette, and Edmonton's Mark Johnson all competing at the Canadian Seniors this coming week.
Wow, what a field.
That is a good field, isn't it? For the seniors, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The number of times you've won anything in Tim Hortons roll up the rim?
0.
Me too. I have never even been close. I don't know if anybody wins. Though Bob Weeks said he won a free donut today, so I guess somebody wins.
No, I haven't seen it.
All right, Kevin, I give everybody a chance to name their sponsors. I know you guys have a bunch of them, and I'm sure they've been a big help these last few years, so let me know who they are.
Yeah, sure. We have Wild Rose Pump and Compression out of Lloydminster, Ernst & Young Chartered Accountants, Gwich'in Development Corporation out of the Northwest Territories, Genmec Construction out of Bonnyville, Yellow Arrow out of Edmonton, and Performance Brushes.
All right. Thanks for your time, Kevin. I know it's at a premium right now, but good luck in Cortina, and congratulations on the big win.
Great. Thanks a lot.
That's Kevin Cooey on The Curling Show. I apologize for the problems we've had with our iTunes podcast feed. They're related to an upgrade we did to the site after it was hacked a while back. I'm hoping that things are squared away shortly. And don't forget that your training for next curling season should start now. So pick up a copy of Fit to Curl by Olympic gold medalist John Morris at fittocurl.com. As always, thanks for listening. Here's Black Pudding.
You go to work every day, you blend into the crowd, but in the silence of night, he's got to live it like